Thank you very much. One of the casualty of this last crisis, according to Joseph Stiglitz, has been that the consensus within the economic profession broke down. And that is a very big loss. And it comes out very well from the presentation we had from you, Professor Warnock. Thanks very much. It was very lucid and very convincing. But at the same time, it was kind of stretching us beyond the realm of ordinary theory as we know it. Because to say that the risk appetite is on and not let it be translated into price theoretic variables, stretches it beyond the economic theory. Also, it is a historical for Asia because the Asian model of development has always dependent more on the real production sector, production of goods and services and exporting, and lived off that and kept the separability between the real sector and the financial sector, including Japan, although which is not part of emerging economies. But from the presentation, it looked like as if that's no more allowed anymore, given the integration of the financial world, as if. That would really be a very major issue for Asia to come to terms with, because basically what is going to happen is that we have pressures already building up on the real goods, on the real estate, on the raw materials, on gold, and on the food markets, as you yourself mentioned. So there seems to be a real issues in terms of development perspective on it and the breakdown of the consensus. I would like to have your comment. Thanks.
Is this on? Yeah. Okay. To your first point on risk appetite and thinking carefully about risk appetite, that is it's a major research agenda right now. We don't have very good measures of this. We don't have good ways of thinking about this yet. There's very good work being done by Hao Zhao at the Federal Reserve Board with Torben Anderson and Tim Bolerslev to try to extract. So what we have right now, a lot of measures of risk appetite they commingle risk appetite with expectations of future volatility, and it'd be nice to be able to get at this core variable of risk appetite. That's ongoing. So we're not there yet on that. There are many discussions about whether if risk appetite is a fundamental preference that we have some preference for risk appetite, can it really be so volatile? Can we change our preferences that easily and that drastically? And there is some theory out there that would suggest that you can, if you bring in loss aversion and some different behavioral theories. And so I will be doing work. So I don't have a good answer other than agree with you that there's where the literature is always moving forward, our understanding is always moving forward. A very interesting research project is think more carefully about risk appetite and capital flows and wide swings in risk appetite. We haven't been able to do that yet, in my opinion. And then the part on the the stresses, the real stresses. I mean, absolutely right. So there are real stresses. Resource stresses, stresses in property markets, things like this that can be exacerbated by these massive international flows. And so this is why I was happy that each of the three discussants mentioned regulation, prudential regulation, and thinking through these things. At the end of the day, if when there's already stresses and the system is then awash with funds, bad decisions are made. That's when things when you get the slowdown. That's when it becomes very painful. And so it's not just regulation, obviously, because again, smart people will get around regulations. You set the regulations, they're going to figure out how to get around. But then also the supervision, actually trying to figure out day to day what are the decisions that are being made, and thinking through those.